Jaikar sir,
Yes, madam.
shall we start? మీరు కెమెరా ఓపెన్ చేసుకోరా?
Just.
It is in live.
Good evening, everybody. They are all unmuted. Good evening, one and all. Madam Sridevi and Parmila Madam and all the participants. We have come to a reasonable number of 52. Thanks for your valuable time in taking uh, your personal time, I should say, to attend this session because the day in and day out we are encountering cyber crimes, and we are in that workshop day 3. Today we are trying to pick up some cyber offences and the related punishments, as well as the relevant sections of the IPC, CRPC, and Indian Evidence Act, and correlate and extrapolate to the new BNS, BNSS, and the Bharatiya Sakshya Adhinam. So, all these we first go through what are the possible offences, and then what are the related punishments, and naturally we are still in the working mode and trying to catch up with the new laws, while the new laws have come into work from 1st July itself, and but still the extrapolation in terms of IPC, CRPC sections, when transposed to and added new sections have come up in the BNSS and BNS, and little bit on the Bharatiya Sakshya Adhinam. So, going to the offences, let me open one document, and then I have collated some offences which we would like to first all understand. After that, we'll go into the related punishments and then start broaching the subject. 1 second, please.
Now you are admin sir, you can share.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Any problem, sir?
No, entire screen I am trying to share. It is blank, madam. I don't know.
Do one thing. You please share with me. I will demonstrate.
Okay, sure, sure. Now I got it.
Hmm.
Okay. Are you able to see day 3 comprehensive response?
Hmm.
Are you able to see that, madam?
Now another screen opened, sir.
Now you are to see yourself now. But now,
Yes, yes. Now it's
yeah. Okay. Now I'll proceed. Basically, covering. See, the expectations of comprehending cyber crimes is an intense, and the scrutiny there too is high, meaning under the umbrella called cyber crimes, it is not possible to list out all the crimes, but possible crimes, yes. So, what we come with the proposed approach is, let us choose specific cyber crimes or offenses like cyber stalking, data theft. Am I visible, madam? My screen is visible.
yes, sir. It is visible.
I am highlighting data theft.
Yes, sir.
Are you able to see the same?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Then online fraud. Then taking these three and the treatment under the different laws, that includes we fall back, I repeat, coming from the current new laws of BNS, BNSS and the Saksha Adhinam, we definitely fall back on the previous prominent, much used laws of IPC, CRPC and Indian Evidence Act. So, coming to the evolution of the legal provisions and the corresponding case laws over time, and the impact of the new laws have to be looked into, madam. So, um, 60 now 60. I'm trying to see the people who have joined. Gauri Shankar has joined in spite of Bonal Festival. David also joined. Vijayendra, Yesudas, and Ramakrishna. Okay, good. So, Dayakar, Mohan Rao, Jayalakshmi. Where is KS, VS KS Rao? Yesterday he was trying to ask something. Okay, he has not joined. Okay, anyway, now jumping to my document, we have to see the intersection of the laws, explore how different laws overlap and contradict with each other, addressing the cyber crimes. So then, our strategy in approaching the cyber offenses and the punishments thereto, and coming out with the related punishments and appropriations in the sense, my recent handling of the couple of cases in cybercrime, even one of our Rama Prasad, I think. Rama Prasad also has mentioned. So that related to 420, madam. IPC 420. And the related IT Act offence is 67D, are related to do with 66. Now, what are the punishments? There is no, first of all, I'm talking about live cases which I am handling. Once the offence, meaning the accused is convicted, there is no other go. There is no reparation. Reparation is what is a atonement. Like, this is the punishment. If you undergo, you need not go to jail. Or this is the penalty. If you pay that, you need not go to jail. No. Now the amounts have gone up to 2.5 crores or 250 crores. You can't, it's unfathomable, I should say, unfathomable. So this is the scenario. In that case, what is the compromise situation? Because people, their lives are at stake. Of course, to as an intention or by fluke or by ignorance, they fall into trap and they have become victims as well as they become accused, and they necessarily get convicted and they have to go through the punishment rigmarole. So if that is the case, people come to terms and try to settle via media, if not arbitration or compromise. Now, when we deal with the compromise, what are we to do? 420 is non-compoundable. Then 67D is also non-compoundable. In that case, how do we handle? So these are the questions posed before us, and we have case laws also coming up for which we need to do analysis. And a couple of questions have come up, and I am also parallelly dealing with them and also explaining the audience and the participants so that they may have a glimpse of how they can handle with the clients as well as the current cases which they are on having on hand, current cases on hand. So now, intersection of laws. Yesterday, I mean, the first day I have shown you, we have already have a soft copy as well as a printed copy of the table of the old laws and the new laws, where in which the corresponding sections have been transpolated or have been grouped under one section or given a new section altogether. So these are the intersection of laws which we need to comprehend, understand, so that the right punishment is awarded or rewarded to the criminal or the culprit or the perpetrator. So now coming to the case law analysis, specific case or a group of cases and analyze how the courts have interpreted and apply the relevant laws. Now, identify the trends in the judicial reasoning and the impact of this decision on the legal landscape. So I wanted to come up with a table structure which we will deal. We will go this way: Cyber Offence, Act section, IPC section, CRP section, Evidence Act section, BNSS, and punishment, case law, citation, remarks, and the synopsis. So let me pull out that. In the meantime, I will open the madam. You can open the mics of all so that as we planned. Now it is 8:28. As we planned, first 15 minutes for the previous session's question and answers. By the time parallel be, I'll be multitasking in pulling out my table, and I can also answer the questions and concerns to clarify to their satisfaction. So you can unmute the uh, participants, madam, so that I can take up the questions of the previous topic as well as do my job of pulling out this also. About 9 charts have come. What are those?
Screen sharing ఆపేసేయండి.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Correct. Yeah, learned friends, you please come up with the questions, concerns you may have, because one of the question somebody was asking which question under which section we have to file. So that is coming up tomorrow. I mean next session. But at the same time, you can feel free to continue your own questions so that I may try to answer as appropriate.
Class months.
Sir, there is any particular time frame would be there to file a case or something in this kind of fraud?
Ramakrishna Garu, are you asking the question? Who is asking the question, please?
ARK, sir, Ramesh Kumar. ARK.
Okay, Ramesh Krishna. Okay, RK. So, first of all, it is all there is a limitation. At the same time, there is no limitation. But there is no limitation. What I mean is, suppose you have a money suit, or money suit is what is say accepted. So once the suit is accepted, then limitation comes into picture. But for a loan or for a debt which is owned 40 years back, 50 years back, and you never bother to at least remind them in the first 3 years, or send a notice, or send a demand notice, or send a witness who was witness to the situation to follow up your loan repayment or anything. So, and you are dormant for the last 12 years or 30 years, then where the question does not arise about the loan repayment or the loan recovery. So this again we fall back on the old IPC and CRPC only, sir. And coming back to the evidences, Evidence Act comes into picture, and 12 years, 30 years is the limitation. I can go, because there are some civil as well as criminal interpolations or extrapolations where the limitation period is also applied to such cases. So that it's a rare case. But here in the cyber crime, let me finish, sir. In this cyber crime, it is the hourly attention and the quick response, only because it's cyber. What is cyber? It's across the net. So if you the more you delay, the more you are on the losing front. Suppose, because yesterday, I mean last session, one learned friend was telling, sir, now they are using MobiQuick. Instantaneously, the money is getting transferred. Then I had to broach the subject of modes of payment and types of payment. So, IMPS, that is instant money transfer, will be there. So, unless until you immediately call up the bank, block the credit or debit card, or the identification of your transaction ID over the net banking which you have done, the bank will immediately respond and block or freeze the amount to be transferred or in the transit of transfer. So these are the things in a cyber crime. Like I have just narrated three offences. So the sooner the better. The sooner the better. So whereas some things like one old man, another learned friend has told that one old man has paid over a year of time 10 lakhs. So only after the culmination or at the end of the 12 months, he discovered that it is a fraudster who is sucking his money out or siphoning his money out. So you have entire 1 year to identify, but because this is a age consideration, ignorance is a consideration, and many other factors which are in relation or analysis. So if that is the scenario, then how do we go about? So these are the certain nuances which we need to bring into consideration during our case analysis, not case law analysis, but case analysis. And further, it's a normal. Once you fall back into IPC, CRPC, and it's a normal course. However, procedurally, police will come into picture, bank will come into picture, bankers, ombudsman will come into picture, RBI comes into picture, and the corresponding country comes into picture. It is a global offense, and the intercontinental transactions and intermediaries which work in tandem all come into picture as respondents, if not parties. Have I answered your question, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Right.
Yes, sir.
So, any more questions? Please go ahead. 7 minutes past. 3 more minutes or 4 more minutes.
Sir, even though we spoke to the bank manager personally on mobile, if they
Okay.
not responded properly, how can we put the evidence?
Sir, collection of evidence. Collection of evidence is not. So now, why I am telling you that point is, um, depending on the crime, depending on the crime, see, it is to do with physical items. Then comes my another another skill which has come into picture, which comes into picture is digital forensics. So all are not capable of handling this subject because it's purely technical, purely technical. So now what happens to a transaction or in a, say interbank transaction, you will only identify the transaction ID. But what happens to the devices? Who will do the device analysis? That comes into picture of or in the scope of digital forensics. Now, what is the evidence? Mobile search and seizure comes into picture. So, mobile has to be seized. Then the other party and the participating parties all hopping is my transaction goes into a third party becomes another respondent, if not impledes that becomes another party, and the banker that becomes another party, then the other bank, sender bank, receiving bank, so all in tandem, all become evidences to be collected. Okay, sir. So what evidence you will collect? Now you can guess, I've given you rough hint that it is technical. But I have also given an open hint or evidence is your transaction ID or transaction reference. Now tell me, you yourself enter into the shoes of a cyber forensic analyst. Cyber forensic analyst. So it is a bank. So naturally, bank has a banker's name, then IFC code,
Yes.
then corresponding details, credentials, how you configure a payee. The day one, I harped and dealt or delved on the subject of banking only. Why? I'm again harping that 80% of the cyber crimes are related to bank.
Yes,
And I
frauds.
also given the statistics that the number of cyber crimes are volume is in UP, but more in our southern states compared to Tamil Nadu, Bangalore. Parmala madam is there. Bangalore is having the highest rate. Highest rate. Why? Because most of the IT people are
IT
sitting there.
companies are there. Yes.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. You
Yes.
are absolutely right. Because
IT
most of
companies.
the IT companies, people, they necessarily do online transactions. Otherwise, also they are forced to do because of the commute, transit, and other logistic regions. What are logistic regions? Secondabad to Hyderabad is only 12 kilometers. But in Bangalore, there are like the IT companies are in the electronic city, but
Yes.
the merchant bankers or the merchants with whom we do the business are elsewhere. So
Yes.
now Bangalore has expanded to such an extent, Marthahalli, then Devanahalli, then
Whitefield.
airport, you name it, all are about 40-45 kilometers,
Yes.
and you seeing the traffic, nobody dares to go. Okay, nobody dares to go. So that too in the peak hours. They if they take off peak hours, then they have to apply leave, or correspondingly they have to what is say sacrifice something. So why sacrifice instead of all this?
Online.
They resort to online transaction.
Online based. Correct.
That is what. So, out of their inabilities, out of their intricacies, out of their shortcomings, they are forced to do online transactions. In a way, they are entrapped or forced to be victim or forced to be unnecessarily getting entrapped. Whether why see, I will tell you one more incident which I did myself to experiment how police will act. So this has happened in 3 years back, where a crockery set, very good. Uh, what is the famous crockery? La Opala. La Opala is at least it is uh, 3,000 to 4,000 rupees, madam. Okay. Only few can be unmuted, if not everybody, minus me. So thing is, the Laopala set was offered by Misho sort of companies. Like Misho also, I have sent a screenshot and ready to discuss case to Madam Sridevi. Now also I will show you while dealing the case laws and typical cyber offences. Now the thing is, that 4,000 rupees worth of kit is being offered at 400 rupees. Then I called Alwal police and told that, sir, I am trying to do this. I know fully well this is a trap. Can you help me in tracking it? Sir, మీరు చేయండి. I'm sorry for using Telugu, but it is a fact. Sir, మీరు చేయండి, మనం చూద్దాం, he said. Sir, మరి you will help me in, I will give you all the details, my bank details and the transaction reference and transaction ID. And I lodged the case also, but they could not do. Finally, what I'm trying to tell you is the intention for the police to take up. One fine day, the inspector crime told me, sir, there are bigger cases and you are trying to bother me with a small case. My goodness. Sir, I am trying to test you. I am an engineer and with that too in, I should call myself expert, but I don't claim that. But I know what is in what. And I forewarned you. Will you help me? Because if it's a tip of an iceberg, because one transaction of Jaikar, 400 rupees, I might lose 400 rupees. But there are hundreds of victims who fall prey for it, and he has collected 400 into, say, 100. So already 4 lakhs have come. Or 1,000 people, 4 lakhs have come. So you will really hit a treasure trove. You help me, sir. He failed to do the analysis, and my case is still lying with them with Alwal police and unattended. So, despite me forewarning and trying to do a handshake with the police in nabbing the culprit, yet there is no will of mind. There is no will of mind. They pretty well do that. Whereas another friend who lost some money over a split AC issue where I helped him and he got his money. So what I'm trying to say is that these are real cases. Same Alwal police has acted, and the very same inspector has called up the ICIC people and the Hitachi people. So what? Okay, what is the theft I talked about? Is a misrepresentation of the identity. Okay, it's an online fraud. So there is a caller ID or there is a toll-free number from Hitachi. This is a real case I'm talking about, which Alwal police could solve it with the help of me. So there is a toll-free number of Hitachi. But you know the sequence of operation and how best the, what I should say, miscreants will keep a watch and keep a tab on global traders. Like Hitachi is there, HP is there, all people. They have a toll-free number. So the moment this guy discovered that there is a change coming from tomorrow, the Hitachi toll-free number, this guy produces another toll-free and replaces that. You see the art? You see the art, madam? It's happened really, I'm telling. So, first day, the number, tomorrow, the toll-free number is changed. Today, the toll-free is there. In reality, it is Hitachi's only. Live case, I'm talking about. Hitachi's only. So, Hitachi has responded. We will assign a service agent to attend to your service problem. This is a real case I'm talking about. So, you and who actually does this fraud? the known person, in-house person. So how it happened? The same service agent of Hitachi, I'm taking the name. It is what to say. It is going on YouTube, and it has happened in reality. That same service agent has given the number to another subcontractor. That subcontractor has utilized his technical savviness in duplicating the toll free number and diverting that calls to this number, and that call will land into this subcontractor. Now, what happens to the main contracted service agent of the Hitachi? The toll free number exists, but is being called forwarded to the subcontractor who is not in direct contract with the Hitachi. He's a subcontractor. Okay. Now let us not go into the details of contract, but I am trying to tell about the fraud taking place, and eventually, or now real analysis. What happened? If for everybody, I am trying to help you, one madam and other participants, always in your mobile, please open and open your position. What's say
Settings.
in settings?
Mm.
You have to make sure the location is on. Kindly
Okay.
see that. Location is on. If you are not done, do it right away because anytime some cybercrime can happen. So keep the location on. That's what I am trying to check. Somebody said position. It's also good. Global position. So location you should keep it on. Why? Why? Because if your phone is lost, immediately there is a tracking app by the police or by the CERT, computer emergency response team, who in turn will work with the related groups, that is law enforcing agency, to track your phone. Now he has pickpocketed your phone or hijacked your phone, but he is using the phone because he is to do a transaction masquerading or misrepresenting you and utilizing your phone. Your phone is not on your body, on with you, but he is trying to use your phone, misrepresenting your personality or identity. So it's an identity theft one, and operation there too, which is nothing but a violation, total violation. Leave alone privacy, leave alone identity, and the money being transacted, money being siphoned. Who is transacting? The perpetrator or the miscreant. But whose money is going? It is the owner of the phone. Okay. So this is what happening. So now coming to the analysis and evidence collection, all the hopping takes place. Hopping means the transaction which is initiated from the owner's phone through his house bank, through the bank which is receiving, through the bank's central bank, whose funds are being allocated from that bank to this bank, and from that account or that account to your account, and from your account to the recipient account. Recipient is a fraudster now, which the bank has to freeze. So all these hops means you, like on a one-legged race, you keep on hopping. So these are the hop steps which are to be collected as evidences. Now, what are these hops in terms of digital evidence? What are these hops? Each IP address of the device. Okay. Now, yesterday somebody, in the last class, somebody told, sir, it is IP address. No, it is not only IP address, but the dynamically allocated IP address, if not the static IP address. So, internet protocol keeps changing as the algorithm works on the program which is in action, in transferring the funds, because you initiated wantonly on purpose, because you are trying to buy something or transfer funds to a payee who could be your relative brother who is in need of money, who has asked you, and you consented it, and duly you are transferring, but the money is not being received by the rightful recipient. So this is the case where it becomes a cyber offense. And now we are talking about the evidences. These are the hops and these are the IP addresses. Now, who owns these IP addresses? Who are accountable to these IP addresses? All will be pulled up, and correspondingly, the applicability of the offense in terms of IPC, CRPC, and the evidences what we collected. So types of evidences you can know: hearsay evidence, or transacted evidence, or by initiation of a program and the execution of code, and the code tries to pick up one location, one memory idea or memory area. This memory area has this data. What is the data? Data would be collected of a record in a table. What does the record tell? Record tell about Mr. Jaker. Mr. Jaker has account in ICICI, and this is his account number, and this is the IFC code for ICICI, and this is the branch code, and this is where he has initiated the transaction to send to Andhra Bank. Andhra Bank of Mr. ARK. ARK is sitting in Vijayawada. Vijayawada, his house bank is Andhra Bank, or now Union Bank. Union Bank has a branch code and an IFC code and his account number. These are the path or the trajectory in which my transaction initiated by me lawfully to send, say, 10,000 rupees to Mr. ARK has to go faithfully, transparently, with confidentiality, with integrity and availability. So that is a secure transaction. So now all the evidences, banks involved, the hopping IP addresses involved, and the nodes and other things, which a little bit technical, I don't want to talk about, but entire path with their respective addresses, with this one transaction ID and one this transaction reference, has all the backup. And Parmala Madam can throw some light that what exactly bank people are questioned from the cyber police station or from the related ombudsman, so that ombudsman as a respondent will again pull up the data from the bank manager or the corresponding chief manager and would respond in the court. Madam Parmala can throw some light, madam.
Yes, madam. Yes, sir. Now, supposing somebody has lost money, whatever, by fraudulent measures, somebody has stolen money from their account, the first thing that the customer has to do is to immediately report it to the branch manager and ask to stop the account. He has to do it without any delay. Without any delay is the reason because the bank has to has to receive and acknowledge your complaint and actually work on it within specified days of 90 days from the date of receipt of the notice or intimation. But if the customer's negligence is there and if he has shared his OTP or this thing and all, the onus lies on the person himself who has not been vigilant enough to see that his account is safe. Now, if the drawings continue after the withdrawals continue, even after the giving the notice, then the onus is on the bank, and bank is responsible for the reimbursement of the money subsequent to the receiving of the notice from the customer. If intimation or if the bank is to the bank is delayed, then the loss will be increased and the debits will be going on, and in that case, of course, it has to be solved in any cases, but then again, we have to take the support of the RBI guidelines and all, and then bank will submit a suspicious activity report, and again, it has to be escalated to the whatever higher levels, and that's how things will work out. And basically, they will make a first level investigation and see how the fraud is taken place, whether it is on account of this one negligence of the customer or negligence of the bank or collusion of the staff member. They will undertake an investigation, sir, first. But from the customer who has lost the money, he has to immediately, without delay, he has to inform the customer bank and take an acknowledgement. This is the basic first thing that they have to do, the customers.
Sorry to disturb you, ma'am. But the thing is, nowadays, banks are simply washing their hands.
Sir, I would like to add one thing,
No,
sir.
Yeah, I understand.
Hello.
But then there is a set of rules also given by RBI as to how the banks must deal with these complaints. If such a thing is there, then again, it can be if the branch manager is not cooperative, or maybe he is ignorant, he doesn't know, or whatever, then you can escalate it to the higher authorities while also informing the branch manager, and that's how things will be taken. But he will also be pulled up for not living up to the responsibility that is entrusted to him. That also takes place. Sometimes there is collusion of the staff. So basically, an investigation has to take place at the branch level, And of course, people from the vigilance department of the concerned head office or regional office, they will immediately come into picture, and then they will also look into that. But he cannot wash off his hands saying, Acha, you have given me your notice, you can go, Bolke. He cannot say like that. He has to initiate action also immediately. That is
You are
there.
right. Absolutely. As per the rules, what you are saying, absolutely agreed. But the
Ah.
thing, come to the picture.
Ground reality. Ground reality. Correct. Yes. Yes.
Madam,
Ground
is the ombudsman involved actually?
Not immediately at this stage. Not immediately at this stage. Because you have got levels of supervision and levels of things. There is a separate departments also in the banks dealing with all these things. So the legal department comes into picture, and the investigation department comes into the picture, but not so soon. Ombudsman is at the later stage, not so immediately. And also it depends upon the volume of the fraud. What is the amount that has been there? Because there are some guidelines for about 2 lakhs. These are the written guidelines. Up to 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs. Like that, RBI has given a list of the volume of the fraud also, sir. Financial fraud. That is also there. So immediately ombudsman doesn't come into the picture.
No, thank you, madam.
Right.
Excellent, madam. Thank you so much.
No, it's okay, sir. It's okay.
That's
Hello.
nice. See, it's very, sir, let me finish. It's good that some participants like Madam Parmila Garu really has bridged the gap, which, see, nothing like hearing from the domain expert. See, certain domain experts are to contribute a lot to the legal fraternity. So, Madam Parmila has come as a blessing in disguise.
Oh,
As
no,
an
sir.
angel, as an angel, she has bridged the gap. Thanks are due to you, Madam, and
No.
Sridhar, Madam. So, on to some other participant or learner council you want to speak. Please speak up, sir.
Sir, here one thing, sir. Once the fraud take place, and if the bank manager, if we are not getting the phone and other things, communication is getting delayed on account of non-response of the bank, then how we are going to go with the situation, sir?
There are channels of this thing. Channels of communications are there in the sense that, yes, you will immediately, first thing you and I or anybody will first telephone to the bank concerned. Sometimes they will not even, when they are in the business hours, they will not even receive the phone. What you said is correct. Ground reality is such. Okay, you try the phone, you try the second phone of the branch, or the person who knows, who you know in the branch. Maybe he may be a counter clerk, he may be an officer at the second level there. So if you know their personal numbers or something, if you have some acquaintance with them, yes, you can contact them and inform. Number two, you can immediately send a email. Email of the bank is available, and emails are supposed to be checked every hour, every half an hour. And so you please send an email also that this is the case, and please take care of my account. You block my account or you do something like that. And you raise a complaint and say, please reply by way of an acknowledgement. So that reply itself is an acknowledgement for you. You can keep that email message. Yeah, you can do that. అట్లా కూడా చేయొచ్చండి. కానీ రీజనల్ మేనేజర్కి కూడా మీకు ఈ బ్రాంచ్ నుంచి ఈ రెస్పాన్స్ రాకపోతే ఇమీడియట్గా హయ్యర్ అథారిటీకి అయినా సరే మీరు మీ దగ్గర ఉండే ఫోన్ నంబర్స్కి, మీరు బ్యాంక్కి రిలేటెడ్ ఫోన్ నంబర్స్కి మీరు ట్రై చేసి చెప్పవచ్చు. ఫస్ట్ థింగ్ ఈస్ ఇఫ్ యూ గెట్ ఇట్స్ ఓకే, అండ్ ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ గాట్ దట్ వాట్సాప్ కమ్యూనికేషన్ ఆల్సో, యూ కెన్ ఇన్ఫార్మ్ ఇట్ బై వే ఆఫ్ కమ్యూనికేషన్. సో దెర్ ఆర్ డిఫరెంట్ ఛానల్స్. యూ కెన్ యూజ్ ఎనీ ఆఫ్ ద ఛానల్స్ that way to communicate first, but there should not be any delay, because there is some rules, RBI rules I have heard, that up to 7 days, 3 days and all, your loss to some extent is covered, and up to 7 days something that I will let you know in detail. But in any case, it is our onus lies on the customer to immediately inform, whatever be the channels. You have to make use of all channels and inform.
Yeah, nowadays the awareness has come, madam. But
Yes,
before
yes.
1-2 years, that was not aware. Because in my case, I am telling, I am the victim. So I personally called the bank manager, but he simply told me that please block the card. But he never called me call 100. He never said me call 1930. XYZ. I personally invested all those things. But I filed a case. Everything happened, but I lost that money finally. because of the delay or what, I don't know, because of collecting evidence or whatever. Because it's very lag, we cannot find a proper solution and proper channel to get the evidence and whatever we can say. So really,
I can
in
understand.
all terms, the normal person getting hang memo
Yes.
in terms of money. That is the main problem.
No, even branch managers, I shouldn't let down my people. They must be more informed. That's also there, and they must be giving correct suggestions. Why are they sitting in that chair? They
I
must know
personally
their
called out
responsibility.
late night. I put SMS also. He spoken to me, but he never guided me properly. Because of that only mistake, I lost my money.
It's very sad thing to happen, really. But did you escalate it? The matter should have been escalated to
Yes,
the
I gone
higher
to
authority.
Actually, I got, sir, Jaikar sir, I got
Yes, sir.
what we can say temporary amount also they given refund 2 times in
Acha.
ICICI Bank itself. But is there any kind of it will useful us to go fight with like a complaint or any other matter basis?
Sir, ARK garu, the very fact you got a bits and pieces or bits of chunks of money as a compensation goes to prove that they have already accepted their guilt
Yes.
or offense. So, which
But
means
finally,
they
what they
are pleading guilty. They are pleading guilty. So they are forced or they are bound to give you the full money, sir. Madam, sir,
that is
Parmela, am I
Correct.
right?
Yes, sir. They are supposed
Yes.
to reimburse.
Yes.
Sometimes there is nowadays internal people are also involved. No, so we cannot say. That is the reason why the susceptibility report is also activated immediately. They have to.
నాకు టెంపరరీ రీఫండ్ అన్నారు అంటే బ్యాంక్ టర్మినాలజీ మనకు తెలియదు కదా రీఫండ్ వచ్చినప్పుడు నేను ఫుల్ రీఫండ్ అనుకున్నా బట్ ఆఫ్టర్ సమ్ ఏమన్నారంటే ఇట్స్ ఇంటీరియం వాటికి ఐ డోంట్ నో ఫర్గట్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ వర్డ్
Suspicious activity. Suspicious activity report. Correct.
Correct.
That I told them. But the thing, but they given refund to me for temporarily. They are telling it's
I
not
don't know.
permanent.
Private banks, I don't know how they have framed their rules because besides there is a RBI guidelines, every bank has its own terms and conditions also. So that's how I think if the amount is less, I think they will reimburse. ICICI Bank, I don't know the rules, what they follow, but they have
The,
framed their own guidelines. That's also
the
there.
incident happened in 2002. The refund has been initiated to me in 2003 or 2020, 23 or 24, ma'am, even. So, but after later on, they told me it's OTP authenticated. So, since day one, they are telling it is done by you only. I 100% I told it's not done by me. It is suspicious. When I told them,
Acha. Okay.
Sir, ARK garu, if I can ask you, when was this, sir?
so it's happened incident in 2022. I got everything fight. I have emails, every proofs I am having.
Okay.
They given 2% refund also. Finally, in 2023 or 24, they told me to you have to pay. Then because of the CIBIL score, I paid, sir.
Oh, that's I don't know.
That's the main concern, madam. Because future we can't loan, we will get a problem. No, due to this all nonsense. That is why I paid that money, man. Sir.
Okay, ARK sir.
This is what I ask you a
Now
number,
that
sir, so that I can contact you. What we'll do, what can we discuss?
we will, that's what I was about to say. Now, Parmila madam, as a domain expert, also can help us out.
Yeah.
So you being a colleague and a learned counsel, we will fight it out, sir. Don't worry. Now, coming to our main scope, let me share the typical offences and the relevant sections, and correspondingly the IPC and the BNSS, CRPC, and the Evidence Act, corresponding related offences, punishments in a table form. So I'm trying to share now. Please pay attention.
Yeah, please attention. 3
Sir, madam, kindly mute everybody. Now question and answer session is over. Now one-way session is on. So now, are you able to see my? Okay, let me little zoom out. My screen is visible now.
Yes, sir. It is.
Okay, now I didn't want to increase the font, but I increased the width of the window itself. So
Okay.
now, typical offense. My table is as such: cyber offense, IT section, IPC section, CRPC section, Evidence Act section, and correspondingly BNSS and the new laws, the punishments, and the remarks. So, what is hacking? Hacking, you know. So the section invited is 66 in the IT Act, and the IPC is 430 if causing a damage, and the relevant sections for investigation and trial, the electronic evidence provisions, relevant sections if applicable, the punishment is up to 3 years or up to fine up to 5 lakhs. Why? Because it's a unauthorized access to the computer system. So the cyber offense is hacking. The relevant sections are already displayed, and the punishment is up to 3 years, and the
Fine.
fine is up to 5 lakhs, and the cause of action is unauthorized access to the computer system. Likewise, next cyber offense.
Stalking.
Sorry, are you able to see everybody?
Yes, sir.
I'm reading out from my notes. Identity theft is the next offense which you are dealing now. So identity theft, as name goes itself, name wise itself, you are stealing somebody's identity. What are the relevant sections? Section 66 of the IT Act. Yeah, 66 of the IT Act, 490 of the IPC, cheating by impersonation. Then the relevant sections of the for the investigation and trial purpose, and the electronic evidence provisions, and the applicable sections, and the imprisonment is up to 3 years, and the fine is up to 2 lakhs. Why you have stolen somebody else's identity to commit the fraud?
Yes.
Likewise, anybody who is not following can stop me, but this is all simple and known, but we are in detail in dealing, because we are like equipped with the relevant sections, equipped with the relevant punishments and the penalties thereof, and the cause of action. What is the actual offense committed? Like cyber stalking. Let me take a sip of water, sorry. Cyber stalking. Relevant section of the IT Act is 67A, and the previous act is criminal intimidation 503, and the relevant sections accordingly, electronic evidence provisions, and the applicable imprisonment is up to 3 years, and the fine is not mentioned. But at the same time, the cause of the offense or cause offense committed through persistent harassment through electronic communication. So, uh, okay. As such, we know what is talking. It's 9 o'clock. We still have time to discuss, and I have focused on one more specific slide on banking fraud. That would be next. After all these offenses are covered, we will take up the matter of banking fraud, because we have a domain expert in our
I'm
participation.
not an expert. I know
It's
about
okay. It's okay, ma'am. It's okay.
things.
Whatever knowledge you are sharing, for sharing is caring. Now
Yeah.
comes, for sharing is caring. For now comes the other offenses. So you know what is typical stalking, because stalking is in our college days, like any beautiful girl is there, not one, several boys will be competing to catch her attention. So it is nothing but stalking. Likewise, in cyber stalking also, you are trying to reach out to a person, reach out to an agency, reach out to a product, reach out to a transaction. So I will, at the same time, will try to equate to DDoS, distributed denial of services. Distributed denial of services. So I always say, madam, I'm not seeing a video. Why? Because it may choke the bandwidth. What is distributed denial of service? First of all, the resource is scarce. That means only little amount is there as a resource, but 10 people are trying to eat. So how much each will get? A piece of that available morsel of food. Likewise, if the bandwidth is only 5 megabytes per second, and try to hundreds of people are trying to access that website, so the bandwidth gets choked, and everybody wants to speak as well as send their images. The image has a higher bit size or byte size of package information than a voice package. So this has to be understood by everybody. Likewise, what is happening now? hundreds of I'm sorry, madam. Just let me stop my dog for a moment. I'm back, madam. Sorry about that. So, the thing is, now we have limited resources and umpteen number of access request is there. So, thereby you are choking the channel. So, that is the distributed denial of service. Likewise, we are talking about the cyber stalking. Stalking is persistent harassment through electronic communication. Like you go on sending mails, repeated number of mails, or you just load, what say, flood one account with several emails. What happens? The server goes like server actually stops functioning. Likewise, this cyber stalking also works. Now, another one, we have 499 and punishment is under 500 of our IPC. What is that? Slander, defamation, libel. So defamation holds good in the cyber world also, where it is called cyber defamation, where the corresponding IT Act section is 66D and the falling back IPC punishment, IPC section is 499, punishment is under 500 for defamation. What is that? Punishment up to 3 years and fine. It is depending upon the hurt caused. So, what is that you have done, or what is the perpetrator has done? He has published a false and defamatory information over a public forum. So, what libel and slander amounts to, same thing holds in the cyber world also. So, that's called cyber defamation. Now, coming to publishing obscene content. So, of late, morphing, deep faking, all these have come as a boon or bane. Boon in the sense somebody wants to advertise something. Now, I just got a video of Rahul Gandhi dancing to the tune of some local festival. So how Rahul Gandhi is dancing? Just his face has been morphed or face has been replaced. Somebody else's is dancing. Rahul Gandhi's face has been picked up and placed over him. Rest of the body is dancing as the previous original dancer is dancing. So this I am posting it into the opposition group, say BJP. So this invites trouble. Now who is doing that? Somebody who is against BJP is utilizing Rahul Gandhi's photo and publishing in a open forum. Now this invites trouble. So this is publishing obscene content. Obscene content is definitely what is not is to be is an offense. So that is your it may not be a naked or may not be a other one, but you are making a deep fake or you are replacing somebody's face with the others. So all amounts to published obscene content because you are wanting to hurt the Rahul Gandhi's image or trying to leverage out of BJP's image. So these are the two major parties in action in the government of India. So who is doing that? Now, coming to the cybercrime analyst, you as me, now we have to see who is that and what medium he has utilized. What is that? Social media. Social media, we have Instagram, we have X, we have WhatsApp, and so many. So, actual the video has been taken on a TikTok. So that is the source. So the content is source. Now that remains same. See why we freeze the data at one chunk and freeze it for analysis. Now I am telling the inside of it. How do we do? I am a digital forensic expert, I should say. How we do is we duplicate the data, original data, not tampering with the original data. Original data remains in one of our folder, that is original virgin data. And this same is replicated into duplicate forensic data. So we duplicate the original evidence and try to operate on it. Then we see all the coordinates. Then we see all the picture levels, picture element levels. Pixel means picture element levels. Then what is the concentration? Which pigment or corresponding payment? See, now I am seeing my prominent area is my forehead and my upper scalp. Upper scalp is bald. So this is a proper fixed content. It cannot be changed. Suddenly I come with the wig, then somebody else is doing some deep faking, if not morphing my face. So the original data remains same. Then the what is that superimposed data will be the delta portion which is added. Delta is the difference between the original and the duplicate, or the x plus 1 minute is the delta. That 1 minute is the delta portion. That 1 minute what has been added. 1 minute is only for example sake I am asking. Today they have taken the dancing of one Bolanu festival in Telangana, and that guy he's been is the original source whose face and body matches to the size and figure of Rahul Gandhi, and Rahul Gandhi's picture is already there, and Rahul Gandhi's picture, just the picture is lifted and replaced with this fellow who is dancing at the Bonalu festival. So this is what happened. So somebody has done this morphing. So original content remains same. That content has to be taken as a reference, and the balance additions we have to slice and dice. I am talking digital forensics, which I have done and I will be doing continuously. Several engagements I have done, and I'm telling, narrating the exercise what we do. We do the slicing and dicing, slice and dice. So we see and get the coordinates and what are the picture elements, what has been added, what is the difference of the original picture and the final picture which is being played there in the social media. So then, who has added? You know the source. What is the content, size of it? We know the source and the size. And now, what is the origin of that device? So we have the device coordinates. Why? The position or the location has been identified, and the calls have been transmitted, or the message has been transmitted from one WhatsApp account through the administrator, or through the group, or through the whatever forum that is passed to this forum, and that forum has okayed it, and they like the video, and they said endorse. Only after sending okay, then this file tries to publish it. Publishing means like one WhatsApp group it sends, all the group members will there correspondingly will forward to their respective groups. It goes and like a wildfire, it goes and spreading. So these are the true story I'm talking about. One, cyber stalking leads are the basic uh, handling mechanism in terms of our counsels or advocates who are handling this cybercrime, or the perpetrator himself is giving an opportunity to so many ideas galore in the sense umpteen opportunities to tweak. So this is typical cyber stalking. Next, cyber defamation, and all these both are covered, and publishing offense, obscene content, and what I should say, the famous obscene content which was published recently last 6 months. I don't want name, but anyway, you understand the meaning of obscenity, and you see how it hurts the original person as a being. And what is the section 67, and what is the IPC section, and the punishment there too 292 for the obscenity, and the applicable punishment is up to 3 years, and the fine is up to, penalty is up to 5 lakhs. What you have done? The miscreant has published or transmitted an obscene material over the web. So till this extent, we are 919. We are in 919. The time is 919. Before going to the banking frauds, let me see anybody has any questions. I'll stop sharing. Yes, now the floor is open to everybody because we are going into from open to specific. Open offences are many offences noted or dealt with or understood, and the corresponding sections we have seen. Now we will go into banking frauds. In the meantime, so far what we have covered in cyber stalking, cyber obscene, cyber defamation, and the three others which we have just dealt can be clarified with some more details. Madam Sridevi Garu, you can open up the mics or unmute them so that they may get some clarification. We start with hacking, then identity theft, then cyber stalking, then cyber defamation, and publishing obscene offense, obscene content.
They are all unmuted.
So you want me to share again so that you can note down the sections? Anyway, I'll send you all my PPTs and notes as handouts also. Madam Sridevi will be distributing. But in the meantime, you can go handy by noting down the sections. And again, I am sharing.
సార్ ఒక చిన్న డౌట్ ఉంది.
Yeah, please go ahead.
అయితే ఏంటంటే మాకు లాస్ట్ వీక్ ఏమంటారు నాకు ఒక క్లయింట్ వచ్చాడు అనమాట. అయితే అతను ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళ ఫ్రెండ్ అతని అకౌంట్ వాడుకుంటా అని చెప్పి అన్నాడంట. అంటే నీకు ఇంత వీక్లీ ఇంత 5,000 అట్లా 2,000 ఇస్తా అని చెప్తే ఆ అబ్బాయి ఇచ్చాడు అకౌంట్, బ్యాంక్ అకౌంట్
టు బి యూటిలైజ్డ్.
అంటే డెబిట్ కార్డ్ ఇచ్చాడు వాడుకోనికి.
రైట్.
అయితే ఇప్పుడు అతను వాళ్ళ ఫ్రెండ్ ఏం చేస్తాడంటే ఏమంటారు రీసెంట్ గా పరిచయం ఏంటంట. ఆయన ఏం చేస్తాడంటే ఇప్పుడు వేరే వాళ్ళని బ్లాక్ మెయిల్ చేయడం అట్లా చేసి అందులో అమౌంట్ వేయించుకున్నాడు వాళ్ళ ఫ్రెండ్ దాంట్లో. వేయించుకొని డ్రా చేసుకున్నాడు. డ్రా చేయించుకొని ఈ పిల్లానికి ఎంత 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 అట్లా ఇచ్చాడు. దాని తర్వాత అసలు ఎవరిది ఏంటని అసలు ఈ పిల్లాడు అడగలేదు, అదంతా ఏం చెప్పలేదు. దాని తర్వాత ఎఫ్ఐఆర్ అయిందంట. ఇట్లా వీళ్ళ అకౌంట్లకి నా అమౌంట్ పడ్డాయని ఎవరైతే ఏమంటారో విక్టిమ్ ఉన్నారో వాళ్ళు ఈ అకౌంట్ పోయిందని చెప్పి కంప్లైంట్ ఇచ్చారంట. అయితే ఈ అబ్బాయికి స్టేషన్ నుంచి ఫోన్ వచ్చింది, సైబర్ క్రైమ్ నుంచి, ఇట్లా మీ అకౌంట్కి అమౌంట్ పడ్డది అని చెప్పి వచ్చిందంట. అయితే ఇప్పుడు ఇతనైతే పోయి చెప్పాడంట వాళ్ళకి స్టేషన్లో, ఇట్లా నాకు తెలియదు, నా ఫ్రెండ్ ఏమంటారు అకౌంట్ యూజ్ చేసుకుంటే అంటే నేను ఇచ్చాను అంటే నాకు అంతేగాని అంతకు మించి నాకేం తెలియదు అని చెప్పాడు. అయితే అట్లానే సిచ్యువేషన్ లో మనం మన క్లయింట్ ని ఎట్లా కాపాడగలుగుతాం?
ఓకే, అయిపోయిందా? మీ పేరు సార్?
అభినవ్ గౌడ్ అండి.
అభినవ్ గారు, స్టే పుట్ అంటే ఐ మీన్ యూ హ్యాంగ్ ఇన్ దేర్. నౌ లండన్ ఫ్రెండ్ అండ్ కొలీగ్ మిస్టర్ డేవిడ్ is there? Is online?
He is not in online.
David, I'm giving a shout out for David. Is David still in the conference?
Yes sir. I'm there, sir.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. So why and how we can safeguard our clients when this sort of things happen? So here you have seen a real case where a friend's bank account is on a rent. Okay, on a rent. And see, ignorance is always a bliss. That guy probably who has done round robin poll, meaning he might have asked 10 people and out of 10 he could hit, his stone could hit a glass. Meaning you throw everywhere till you hit the glass. Likewise, he has asked 10 different kinds of friends. One, this friend who has allowed his bank to be let out for a rental transactions. So this is what the reality is. So now the thing is, the friend's name is Srinivas. Example. Now the actual receiver is Ravinder and the actual sender is again Jaikar. What is happening? So I talked about when this point was raised about in the last session, abatement. When a murder is taking place, it is actually A who killed the person C and B is just a participant or a witness to the murder. So after posing this question to all the fellow learned counsels and brothers and sisters, so abatement attracts the same punishment as the culprit. You agree? Right. Thing is, now when other than intended credit has happened to Srinivas' account, Ravinder has posed or forcibly credited into Srinivas' account, final amount is being drawn by Jaikar or Jaikar's amount is being drawn into Srinivas' account. by the perpetrator Ravinder. Now Srinivas does get an SMS saying that 20,000 has been deposited today. What does his absence tell? You both are unmuted, right? David and Vaibhav.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm unmuted, sir. David, yes.
So you respond. 20,000 is deposited out of the blue. You know where the 20,000 has been deposited into Srinivas account. You are the Srinivas. You be silent, David.
Honestly, no, sir.
Yes. So that is what you have to do. The client was supposed to inform the banker, sir, I don't know from nowhere, this 20,000 has come into my account as a credit. I am a supplier definitely, but I never made any sale to this party who has deposited 20,000 into my account. You have to notify. Otherwise, you become a party to the crime. Okay? Now, Abhinav Garu and David. So now you understand.
ఒక చిన్న అయితే అసలు వాళ్ళ ఫ్రెండ్ ఏం చెప్పారంటే నీ అకౌంట్ లోకి ఇంత అమౌంట్ వస్తుంది, సో అండ్ సో అమౌంట్ వస్తుంది, అందులో నీకు కొంచెం ఇస్తాను అని అట్లా చెప్పారంట.
Fine. Okay. This is an accepted crime. This is an accepted crime. Whereas for a normal conventional banker or account holder, an undue account credit has come, which has to be necessarily immediately pointed out or informed to the bank manager. If not, to the call-free number, meaning each banker has a customer service number. You have to inform them that so and so credit has come, sir, unduly. I don't know from what account this has come. I never sold any item to this supplier, but this supplier seemed to be a supplier, has credited 20,000 into my account. Right. That is one aspect. Other aspect is this is an accepted crime and a planned crime that, see, certain amounts will come into your account, Mr. Srinivas. You keep your mouth shut, and then at the end of the story, I will give you in turn after dry. Kindly mute who is trying to contribute that noise. So the 20,000 in cumulative to other credits, you keep your mouth shut and be silent till we extract 1 lakh out of it. End of the show, I'll give you 5,000 as a percentage benefit to you for lending out your account number to get all these debits or credits into your account. So once credit is there, end of the day, we debit it out. I mean, we take it out, we'll take it out and give you 5,000 for every 1 lakh withdrawn. So how do you save the client? I have already informed you. If it is a purported organized crime, then corresponding sections will act because you know what is that in IPC and CRPC. Corresponding tables you have to see from your BNSS and the new laws. Okay. So have I answered your question, sir?
Sir, వాళ్ళకి సేమ్ సెక్షన్స్ అప్లికబుల్ అవుతాయి సార్.
Same.
Yes, sir, same sections applicable అవుతాయి.
There is no doubt. I have put up a table. I am sharing also. You see the corresponding IT Act sections and the corresponding IPC section, and the last part of it is see cyber identity theft.
And the account holder is the A1. Account holder is the A1.
Yes, good.
Yes, sir.
So further you want any suggestions? We can take it offline. We can discuss further so that we can expedite the adjudication process. And identify the modes and means of closing the case.
Excuse me, sir.
Any more questions on the published offences, sir? We'll go to banking fraud because it's 9:30 now.
Sir, there is no excuse the bank account holder.
No excuse.
Yes, sir. And there is no chance to escape the accused.
Yes.
Please. There is no chance to escape the accused list.
It's purely 420.
Yes, sir.
420 is non-compoundable. In earlier discussions also, 67D and 420 I have mentioned old and new laws, and there is non-compoundable. then that if it is a corporate fraud, it amounts to 250 crores or 2.5 crores to start with. So these are the very, very huge penalties. So that is why people are coming to compromise. That's where
And
I'm trying to help them.
and
That is
nowadays,
second thing.
and nowadays, more offenses are like these examples.
Yes, correct.
Sir, in the case of Abhinav, sir, David here, sir, in the case of Abhinav, it's an accepted crime.
Yes.
But in a different scenario where I've, to say my client has got some services, in return he has paid the amount, unintentionally he got into that trap, sir. So will there be any resolution? Is there any solution for him?
Yeah, some more details are required. We can discuss offline.
We'll take it offline, sir. No worries, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, we'll take it offline. And we'll, because paucity of time, it is already 9:30. My allocated time is over. Yet to we focus on the banking fraud. So I'm coming to banking fraud now. This is to do with. Hope my screen is visible. Everybody say yes, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
It's
sir.
visible, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. So now we are trying to focus on specific cybercrime, online banking fraud. Again, the table is Cyber Offense, IT Section Act, IT Act Section, IPC Section, CRPC Section, Evidence Act Section, BNS Section, BNS Section, BSA Section, Punishment, Case Law, Citation, Remarks, if any. What are the new laws which are applicable and the relevant sections of the IPC, CRPC, whatever it may be? So, new laws, IT Act, IT Acts 43, 66, 66C, 66D are the IT Act sections relevant to online banking fraud. The corresponding to fall back upon is cheating, that is 420, then 467, 468, and 471. And correspondingly, the new acts 154, 190, 200, then 45, 65, 67 of the new acts. So now the typical imprisonment or punishment is up to 3 years or both. The imprisonment is up to 7 years and fine. Fine, that is what both I said. So now a typical case, the case law citation, you can pick up notes and do just on Indian Canon you can go. If not, note down in State Bank of India versus Deepak Kumar Gupta, which involved unauthorized access to the computer system, cheating, forgery, and fraudulent use of electronic records. Evidence of electronic transactions is crucial. BNS and BNSS likely to have provisions for organized cybercrime and stricter penalty because which are yet to be evolved. So, but however, these certain sections on the right side of the BNSS are already mentioned, but we do not have case laws because the BNSS and the new laws have come into vogue only from 1st July. So, but based upon the previous laws, previous criminal major acts, we have readily available citation or readily available case law of State Bank of India versus Deepak Kumar Gupta. So kindly note down. And next, and the details thereof. What is happening? Section 43 is dealing to damage to computer system. Why? We tweaked in the computer system. What is the act? It is related to computer forgery. So computer forgery invites section 66 of the IT Act. Then after forging, we have thieved the identity. That invites section 66. Then what is that we have to do, or what is that perpetrator had done? He has cheated dishonestly, inducing the delivery of the property of whatever the funds are there, that becomes the property which are delivered to other means other than the actual recipient or fraudulently transferred. That is section 66D, corresponding IPC sections. IPC, cheating and dishonestly inducing delivery of property is 420. Then 467 calls for forgery. Then 468 forgery for cheating. 471 using forged documents as genuine. So corresponding to CRPC sections, 154 for information of cognizable offense, section 190 cognizance of offense by magistrate, and section 200 calls for examination of the complainant. Then for the Indian Evidence Act, see, experts like me will give expert opinion. Why I say experts like me? I am a certified information systems auditor with expertise in digital forensics. What do? I take the transaction initiated device to the transaction completed device. We take all the hopping stamps, hopping time stamp, date stamp, IP stamp, email trail, audit trail, all these are is nothing but I'm a CISA, Certified Information Systems Auditor, IT audit trail. So entire trail I am picking up the evidences. And after my report is published as an expert opinion. That is under section 45 only I submit my report. That is expert opinion. So if you are an advocate or a counsel for a victim, you consult me. Typically, I'll be doing that. You consult me. I will submit my expert opinion after evaluating the sender and the receiver and the offense committed and all the related forensics. Now comes 665. Section 65 calls for the evidence of electronic records. Section 67, admissibility of this collected electronic evidence. So, as I told already, the new laws which have to be evolved and corresponding sections, we can fill it out, but case laws are not yet available for exemplification. Now, coming to punishments. Punishments, as I told you, 3 to 7 years with penalty and with fine. I mean, with penalty or fine. So, I already told you the case law. It is State Bank versus Deepak Kumar Gupta, which emphasizes the role of electronic evidence in proving online banking fraud. So, what is that? Online banking fraud involves a combination of offense under the IT Act and the IPC. Evidence of electronic transaction is crucial for prosecution. So, electronic evidence, how do you gather? It is to do with digital forensics, who can be done persons like me. Likewise, uh, like provisions of the new laws. So, with this, I conclude my session. The entire landscape is constantly evolving. New case laws and statutory amendment may impact the analysis. So, with the above tables, I have already exemplified the offences with the sections of old and new, also with the IT Act and the punishments and with penalties. So, with this, I close. Let us go to questions with regard to online banking fraud. We can again regurgitate the corresponding sections so that what fits your questions might fit into one of these IP sections or IT Act sections, and we can deal with and discuss and close with within 3 minutes. Now it is 9:38. We'll close by 9:45. Madam, you can unmute the mics of all the people who are willing to seek certain clarifications on the specific cybercrime offense, banking, online banking fraud.
Sir, good evening, sir. Deepthi here, sir.
Very good evening, Madam Deepthi, Madam. How are you? Halfway through, we missed each other. I mean, we missed the conversation.
Yes, sir. I'm doing good, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Sir, I have a typical question. This is completely a different query as such.
Okay,
It is
madam.
like one of the senior counsels.
Okay.
He takes care of the banking and the insurance. He's the senior most counsel for those. He represents the banking and others counsels, sir. So he actually his number has been mistakenly or by purpose been added to the person who is who could not pay the uh, loan amount. So
Okay.
అంటే ఒక అతను లోన్ తీసుకున్నాడు, అతను పే చేయలేదు. అయితే ఆల్టర్నేటివ్ నంబర్కి సార్ నేమ్ వచ్చేసింది, సార్ నంబర్ వస్తుంది. ఒక బ్యాంకుకి అట్లా జరిగితే హీ వెంట్ టు ద కన్జ్యూమర్ ఫోరం అండ్ బ్యాంక్ వాళ్ళు అపాలజైజ్ చేశారు, అయిపోయింది, దే హ్యావ్ క్లోజ్ ద కేస్. 6 months తర్వాత ఇంకో బ్యాంక్ నుంచి వస్తుంది సార్.
లైక్ రికవరీ నోటీసా?
Yes, sir. You are the alternative contact, and you have given guarantees and all. He's like, I do not give guarantee to anybody. I am neither eligible for all this. I am away from all this. I don't avail any loans also. I am not guaranteed for anybody. But literal గా ఒక సీనియర్ కౌన్సిలే ఫేస్ చేస్తున్నారంటే వాట్ కుడ్ బి ప్రాబబుల్ సొల్యూషన్ సార్? సిబిల్ స్కోర్ ద్వారా ఇట్లా చెప్తున్నారు వాళ్ళు, సిబిల్ కంపెనీ వాళ్ళు ఆల్టర్నేట్ నెంబర్ మీది ఉంది సార్ అని చెప్తున్నారు. సో హూ కుడ్ బి ద రెస్పాండెంట్ సార్? విచ్ కోర్ట్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు అప్రోచ్? కన్స్యూమర్ ఫోరం కాకుండా.
కంప్లీట్ finish the entire narration. I will respond, madam.
I am like, where could we find a solution that the number should be removed?
Yeah, good. Madam, in a typical loan acceptance or loan approval mechanism, the loanee would be forced, if not as the protocol calls for, by the bank to give two alternative loan sureties. Right, madam?
Yes, sir. Yes.
This is a typical loan scenario.
Yes, sir.
Now, the banker who is extending his loan to the loanee is to be responded. Simple as that. Because notice emerged out of him or the banker who has extended loan to the loanee.
Yes, sir.
It's a simple thing that the honored or honorable senior counsel can go straight. Because I will tell you, madam, accused can approach directly the banker or the outstanding loan person or the debtor, I should say debtor, can go straight away to the banker whom he has approached for taking the loan. Today, he is not in a position to settle the loan or repay the loan. He can go straight away and express his pathetic situation that I am not able to repay the loan. What are the alternatives? Wait, madam. What are the alternatives? Alternative could be refinancing also. Refinancing, loan over loan. Okay, that is one. That's only for as an example I have told. Now the pathetic situation of the debtor is come to the situation that he is isolating himself and forcing the banker to approach the surety number 1, surety number 2. Right? But unfortunately, or by fraud,
yes,
this senior counsel's number has been implicated there.
Yes, sir.
As if he is the surety, which he has not done, as per your narration, which has not done. So, the same surety who is notified that you are the surety because the main loanee is not able to pay, either you pay or we will take him to the legal course or legal recourse. Then comes the first surety comes into to bridge the gap. No, sir, I will pay part of the money. In real sin, your senior counsel implicated is another discussion. Now, normal trend I am talking about. What is that? He will go and say, sir, he owes you 10 lakhs. Sir, as he is my good friend, I become the first surety. I will give you 2 lakhs now. Out of the 5 lakhs already paid, at least only 3 lakhs will be outstanding. I am doing some help to my dear friend, and so I'm putting down 2 lakhs as immediate repayment, which by the time next EMI date comes, he will try to recover a little bit and he will pay the balance. Right now, as a first surety, I will pay 2 lakhs. Done.
Yes, sir.
Now comes the implicated character or implicated your senior counsel, who is erroneously implicated or by wantonly or by cheating.
Probably, yes.
This debtor has implicated him picking up his number, or like he seemed to have met him at the bank, and your senior counsel might have talked very empathetically. Empathy means feeling pathetic about his situation, trying to solace and trying to come out of his depressive mood. And that mood, he cleverly or viciously or venomously has extracted his number and given that number as, this sir is my first surety. Over. So now your senior counsel has only one route to say, go and say that these are my credentials and this is my locus standi, and I am in no way connected to, because I am your senior counsel of the bank. You not only your bank, couple more banks. I'm a standing counsel. How
Yes,
can
sir.
I be? How can I be coming into business? I'm only on the legal side, so I cannot enter into any sort of business transactions. Failing which, I'll lose my standing counsel position. Simple as that. Only two statements. I am not the party. I'm a standing counsel, and somehow my number is given by a third party who is nowhere related to me or nor my position.
ఇట్లా
End of it.
అసలు ఇంకో పిచ్చిపోయిన పాపం ఆయన అది ఎందుకు కట్టారో అసలు నాకు అర్థం కాదు.
Deepthi madam?
Yes, sir.
Got some clarity? Got some clarity?
No, is the consumer forum correct thing, or we have to approach the criminal court, sir?
Madam,
for this?
why again going to a forum, or why at all? Why consumer forum? Where is the service matter? Where is service? See, dereliction of duty, service matter, or these invite consumer forum. Here the situation is implication part and debt, outstanding debt or outstanding loan to be repaid. So
Yes, sir.
approach the first party directly before going to any other third party forum, leave alone the civil suit or consumer forum. Generally, these loan servicing and all are fought in consumer forums. But here it's nothing to do with the transaction, because your senior counsel no way in the picture of a transaction. He is
Yes, sir.
implicated by virtue of his simple telephone or telephone
sir.
number.
Yes, sir.
So he can absolve himself. Now, mark my words, he can absolve himself by filing an affidavit saying that this is my position, this is my locus standi, and these are my attached banks for which I am the standing counsel.
Yes, sir.
Anything more? Anybody else?
He felt defamation, so he filed a defamation suit earlier.
Later,
He won that,
ma'am.
sir. He won that. He got an
Beautiful.
apology letter from the bank.
The other
Again,
bank,
after
no?
6 months, another bank people started calling him.
So that
He's
becomes
where?
that becomes case law for this. He can cite that case law judgment, and
Yes, sir.
one word answer he can give with the judgment itself.
Okay, sir. Done, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, madam. Thank you. Thank you for sharing, madam. For sharing is caring. You care for everybody. You have shared your life story, and it has become an eye-opener for many of our learned colleagues and all of us. Thank you very much on behalf of all the forum and legal, EGNA legal too.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody else, please? We are trying to close 9:45. I thought 9:48 over. Anybody else?
Sir.
Good evening.
Sir.
Anybody else, please?
Sir.
Tell me, madam. Speak up your name, then the situation, and then the cause and effect.
Sir, this is Anuradha Bakaraju, and advocate.
One at a time, madam.
Sir, may I speak, sir?
Anuradha madam can take the mic.
Yeah. This is Anuradha Bakaraju, an advocate, sir. Sir, I would like to share here a similar experience as what the previous has experienced. My name is Anuradha Bakaraju is my surname. So, in a of experience for myself, I faced implication saying that Bakaraju is my name. Some other far relative of mine has taken a bank loan of 20 lakhs or so. So I was fraudulent, unwantedly implicated in this, saying that I was Bakaraju. From Chennai, SBI. This is from SBI Bank. So I've been receiving continuous calls from their customer care centers at Chennai and other places. Then I was fed up, and then I told them, if this is the case, I would book a police complaint. Then it was stopped. So I just wanted to share that just by surname also they were trying to implicate me. Want to share?
Yes, madam. Good. So I have live examples, and it would be lively to discuss, but due to paucity of time, they are just abusing the last name that is called surname of
Yes.
Basaraju, and they have already obtained 20 lakhs loan. Maybe using your CIBIL score, or maybe using your credentials and standing, meaning financial standing in the banking, so that you can afford to get a loan up to 20 lakhs out of your standing in the, say, CA certificate or chartered accountant certificate. Out of your assets, they might have come out with a net worth position, and the net worth status gave the banker you as a high net worth individual, where 20 lakhs loan was extended to the recipient with the same surname, but maybe different uh, first name.
Person. Yes.
Different first name. Last name is same. Yeah, they have exploited your Basaraju surname or last name.
Yes, sir. True.
Okay, that's nice, madam. It's enlightening, and you have taken the right action to threaten them with police action. They stopped further proceeding with that.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, anybody else?
Sir, Advocate Indraja sir,
Tell me,
అది
madam.
స్లైడ్స్ చూపించారు కదా సార్, ఐపీసీ సెక్షన్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా,
Yeah.
471 నుంచి నేను నోట్స్ రాసినాను సార్, ఒక్కసారి మళ్ళీ.
ఓకే, ఇక్కడ మేడం.
ఎస్ సార్, ఐ థింక్ విజిబుల్.
So meanwhile, can I ask you one question, sir?
Go ahead, madam.
Yeah, I'm not interfering with your work.
Louder, madam. Your voice is feeble.
Okay. Is it okay now, sir?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to enlighten me on the Facebook and this matrimony frauds which are going on of late.
Yes. Go ahead, madam. Go ahead. We are listening, madam. Go ahead. Are you done noting down, Indraja, madam?
Sir, yes, sir.
So, shall we go to evidence?
Evidence section, sir.
Yeah. Up to this, you can note down. BNSS,
Yes.
you can see the tables. New laws, you can see the table, but evidence calls for 3 sections. Evidence Act calls for 3 sections.
Sir, I have a doubt on expert opinion. Can you shed some light on?
Yeah, I have narrated myself taking as an example.
No, sir.
See, madam.
Yes,
suppose,
sir. I finished.
You are done, Indraja, madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. We'll go to the main screen. I'll stop
Thank you,
sharing
sir.
now. Yeah, welcome. I'll stop sharing. We'll go to the main frame.
Sir, can we go for an expert opinion before the court itself procedures, or through court only we have to come to you? This is the doubt, sir.
Oh, with regard to cybercrime or an example murder case?
Any of this, especially
Let us take
cybercrime.
murder case. Let us take murder case. I can take example of digital forensics, which I am doing currently and being for the last 3 years also. I can tell my own experiences, but for everybody's common understanding, let us talk about murder case. So we are trying to save the accused. the accused has been implicated by the weapon which was used in murdering the victim. So the dead body's vicinity, they found a weapon with the blood stains. With blood stains, you as an advocate has gone to rescue the accused. Accused is not pleading guilty. Accused is not pleading guilty, which you are supporting that yes, my client is neat and clean. He never involved. He is never involved in the murder, and he's been implicated. Now comes the intervention of the right agencies to disprove that the weapon used is by somebody else other than your client, the accused. Are you following, madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Am I talking to Deepthi, madam, only?
Yes, sir.
Good. So now, here comes the expert who has to come and give the expert opinion. Number one, we take the post-mortem report. We take the inquest report. Inquest. That involves post-mortem, the visceras. Visceras is the impacted, important areas and organs of the body which contribute to certain evidences, like he was killed after the death due to poisoning. The act of killing is only a cover up to show the poisoning aspect, or to cover up another deed. I don't want to use anything. If the victim is a lady, I don't want to use any adjectives, but you can imagine the rest. But here is the cover up. But the entire show, the scene is depicted as a murder committed by the accused, who is your client, whom you want to protect. What does this expert do, and how does he gather, and how does he submit his expert opinion? Is by taking the help. See, it's a MLC, medical legal case. Why? The state has to come into picture, and the murder has taken place. The state has to protect the victim, and the public prosecutor has to come into picture, and you supporting the accused to relieve him of the accusation that he has not murdered. He has not murdered is your claim. He has murdered is their claim. Is the state's claim. So, now I have cited inquest report, postmortem report, the poisoning aspect. One of the, it could be. I'm making your imaginations run wild. Kindly understand my statement. A murder can have so many aspects. It is the expert who has to cover all the potential possibilities to narrow down, to absolve the accused out of the alleged murder. Because he is accused as murdering the victim, right?
Yes, sir.
Now you understood the entire trajectory path of the initiation of the action, placement of the body, placement of the weapon, placement of the facts, depiction of the picture, then submitting or calling the police and inviting the team of the investigation officer to come and scene of offense to study, and then take all the cues, interrogate or take statements from the available persons or present witnesses, or all you can imagine. Murder is not a new crime which has been evaluated. It ran in from Britishers' time till now also. So now we have in a sufficient case laws to understand what is an expert opinion. Now, what are the points involved is to establish the fact, because you are saving the accused out of his allegation, out of his accusation, or meted out to him and falsely implicated him of the murder which he never committed. So, what does the expert opinion speak about? It is the time of the murder, it is the place of the murder, it is the date of the murder, it is the weapon used, or the circumstances which led to the murder. These are all the ingredients of the expert opinion report, man, that covers the opinion, expert opinion of the medical doctor who has done the postmortem, and the clinical forensic analysis done by clinical pathologist who did the blood sample test, stool sample test, and the viscera test. These are pathological examinations, that is clinical examinations which that expert has done. It is not only postmortem is done by one doctor, but there are again experts who have done the pathological tests of the visceras. Visceras are the like liver will give the bile production, and the gallbladder and the intestines and the stomach. What did it have? How many hours past he has consumed food? What he has consumed? Ingredients of the composition of the food, and the composition of the food does not come up. They will rule out that there is no poison in it. They will rule out there is no poison in it. So one, if you see the expert opinions report covers every aspect. If you have not covered one aspect, then you are weakening the case. That weakening one point would not save your client who has to be brought out of the accusations. So these are very, very critical in nature. Now likewise you extrapolate it to me, who is a digital forensic expert. I'm a digital forensic expert. Why means I know the technology because I have designed Spock or single board computer, single board, okay, SBOC. Then I have designed printed circuit boards which are multi-layered. So I know what is going on to a electronic printed circuit board. So what has the components and which component functions in what way, and what is the input and what is the output of that particular component. I made a mention of erasable programmable memory, in which a group of subroutines, which is a group of code which are run, does a specific job and stop. So where does the program is initiated, when did it stop, and what the output it has given, and the output is connected to a sensor or a relay where it opens and closes. What time this relay has been triggered, and what time the relay signal has gone, so that it can trigger open, trigger close, and trigger move. For a solenoid valve, for a relay, for a valve to close, for a valve to open. When the valve is open, the fluid opens and goes. When the fluid goes, time of the valve opened, time of the fluid entered, and the conduit of the pipe which allows this particular fluid to flow, and the end of it, how much volume. These are all to be considered in the expert opinion of a digital forensic consultant or digital forensic expert like me. Now, what do I narrate? I narrate all the involved because it's a hybrid system. It is to do with analog material and a digital material. Analog is what I just talked about, solenoid valves. Solenoid valve again acts on a triggered input. Triggered input opens up a relay. Relay is connected, and relay works as a switch which opens a valve. What does the valve do? Valve opens the fluid inflow or outflow, or closes the flow. No, what I am talking in the digital forensics, yes, because it's an electronic hybrid system, has an inbuilt hybrid part of it. Hybrid portion is connected to an analog system, and analog system is receiving a digital signal which is connected to a relay, which is a physical item. Time of closing, time of opening, and the print or the signature, ran program time, executed program time, timestamp, date stamp. All are evidences. This is nothing but digital forensic analysis which I have done, and I have submitted my expert opinion this way. So these are two things I have told. I have considered a standing known example as murder, and another one which like a flooding of a tank, a flooding or flooding of some unwanted material, and that is connected through a pipe, and the pipe is having a wall, and the wall has been opened by a hybrid system. The hybrid system works on a software. Based on its command, it gives a signal to the relay, and the solenoid valve opens and allows the fluid to flow and empties the tank, if not fills the tank. These are all illegal actions. Siphoning of some petrol, siphoning of some fuel from a petrol bunk. So all these happens. It is to do with electronic systems which were used for automating the process, but at the same time exploiting for undue gains. So that is a cyber crime, because you are using a cyber crime, utilizing, leveraging the technology. How you have done? You are remotely operated from him. See, one more live example I'll tell you. I am driving through in America. It's a home automation system. In India also, In 2000, early 2000, we designed, myself and one more friend of mine, we designed a home automation system. We could have commercialized it, but now home automation system has come. We have done it in 2000. Okay, I have several firsts in BHL I can talk about, but I am telling a live example. I am driving to home. By the time I reach home, it would be half an hour. By the time my geyser heats up the water for sufficient warmth for me to take bath, will take 20 minutes. So I will initiate my geyser to be switched on while I start from my office. In the meantime, I have a clock setup. The clock setup is, the geyser should stop by 20 minutes. So I program myself from my mobile, which is having an app. So can somebody relate to what I'm talking about? Anybody? I will tell you live example. If not, I would have shown you. I missed it. In next session, I will tell you how do we do that live. Can anybody respond?
Yes, sir. I think it's the trending concept now in the home automation. You can control the AC at the home when you start from the office and all. You can control the complete devices in the home.
Exactly. What is the device?
Home
I'm not
appliance.
sure.
Sir. Google Home, Alexa. I have ready. I wanted to show, but it's in the first floor. So with this Alexa and Google Home have come now. Siri. For iOS is Siri. Exactly. That is why I wanted to know. Anybody can tell. So this is what we can do. So Alexa is an app where through my mobile I can switch on, ask Alexa to switch on my geyser, and Alexa, I give a timer, shut off by the time you clock 20 minutes. It shuts it off, and keep the door open by the time I come. How the door opens? Just now I talked about the forensic report. A solenoid valve is connected to the door shutter or the flush door, who operates on a relay. What does the relay do? It runs a motor. What does the motor do? It rotates anti-clockwise. What does the anti-clockwise mean? Clockwise means it rotates forward. Anti-clockwise means it rotates opposite. Opposite means it collapses. Clockwise means it pushes. So door closing is clockwise, door opening is anti-clockwise. It's as simple as that. So I have told you the hybrid electronics live. What is the device? Home device? Alexa, Siri, Google Home. Done. What do you want, madam? Deepthi madam? Forensic report. Expert opinion. Okay, done. We are happy. Good learning. Live examples. I will show Alexa next time. I have two Alexas. First one I had when I came back from America. Then the next one I bought after coming to India. So both I have, both are working. I will show you both of them. Echo
Sir,
Dot.
you must have heard about that gadget Rombo, sir. You must have heard about that Rombo vacuum cleaner, home vacuum cleaner.
Round one.
I don't know. It was there. It was named as Rombo. Somebody told me that when that was used to clean the premises of the flat or the premises of the house, it was going all around the place, and it was actually capturing the inside of the house, all the details of the inside of the house, and perhaps it could be relaying it to some external source also. So there was a case also about that case. Somebody said it was relaying the internal details while rotating in the house by way of vacuum cleaning. Do you know anything about that, sir? Have you heard about it? That Rombo house cleaning equipment, vacuum cleaner. It actually relayed the photos and the belongings in the house. It was relayed to the external source, I believe, sir. That was years ago. That was the time when automation was coming into India, and this was the first of the gadgets that was introduced, I believe, sir.
Exactly. Madam, you missed my earlier remarks and citation. I talked about Osama bin Laden and his capture.
Oh, that was yesterday, you mean? Day before yesterday?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
So,
I missed
how
it.
they have done? How they have done? Now we crossed 10 almost. So how they have done? How they have done is embedding the encoded message in a meme or a pictorial depiction which good morning, good evening was passed on to Osama. But it was not simple picture of good morning, good evening, but there was embedded code of communication to Osama. Now, which is the when did you go to Bangalore, madam? Which year?
2015.
Okay, good, no problem. You are here very much. The first police station or the first police station jurisdiction limits in entire Hyderabad was Panjagutta. In 2002, where I was very much there in BHL, and cartography was done. GIS software, Global Information Systems, was the package or the software which was being done. I, as an electronics engineer, was also studying it and aiding little bit on the consultation part of it while being in BHL. So, how they have done? They have taken now. If you go to Google Maps, you will see more, better, easy identifiable locations in Panjagutta police limits. Why? Because that was the first cartographed jurisdictional area in the entire city.
City, okay.
Right. How they have done? Each, like, have you seen anybody doing civil survey area or
Yes, yes. They carry
how
the equipment. They carry the equipment. They have some camera type of a thing or some microscope or something. They have their equipment where they will measure all the land measurements and the topography of the area and things like that.
Exactly. Nothing but why I have cited Osama's example. It is the latitude, azimuth, altitude, elevation. Three coordinates they do: azimuth, altitude, longitude. So three areas. Same way, this Rambo. I'm jumping here and there, but I hope you all can connect the dots because we are in the subject. Now, what does the Rambo do? Rambo has been programmed to first do the pointing mechanism. Pointing mechanism is first to go to the main entrance, put a dot. Then main entrance door width, put a dot. So you have covered 3 feet. Then come back northwise. Depending on the azimuth, elevation, and altitude, the house is cartographed. Each cartographed is a node. Each node has an address. Each address is correlating to the fellow address. That is the fellow node. Each node is taking a picture. What is the picture? Picture of the main door. Right. You are not only prompting the camera to take a picture of the first node and the vicinity thereto or thereof, and sending immediate to the relayed server. The information is relayed to the server. Now, is it used for a legal purpose or illegal purpose? So it is in the person's hand how to use it or how to abuse it. Rest of the story you can imagine. Because I have volumes enough to talk, volumes to narrate and explain. I, being an electronics engineer, I am an embedded systems engineer for 13 years. I can take hours of class in doing C&I, control and instrumentation of generator, turbine, and instrument auxiliaries. So many things, madam. I can talk. So feel free to question, but I am looking at the clock also, which is.
I know. I understand. Right, sir. You are highly knowledgeable. We are very fortunate to have you here as our speaker of the day, and we have benefited by what you have said, sir. It has definitely added to our knowledge. Thank you for sharing your expertise with us. Thank you.
Thank you. God's grace, madam.